Good day, everybody. Brian here from quantlabsnet.com. In this coding example here on May 29th, it's a very basic example using a trading application or quant trading. I'm going to be introducing you to Retrieval-Augmented Generation. It's a special type of AI application where there's a database involved and it's a request to an LLM. In this case, we're using ChatGPT. I'm just going to state out right now, we got as far as we can with connecting into ChatGPT, but it's coming back with some stupid privilege problem I can't be bothered to look at. But I'm going to show you the code anyways and what we got here. So basically, we have a user, the app, and we're using LangChain. Okay. I don't get into the details of this. I give you in the README text file where to go and some of the basic building instructions. So what we can have is we can have a retrieval database or a data store. It could be Postgres. It could be confirmed with SQLite as well. And then you can have your LLM. As I said, we're using OpenAI ChatGPT. I'm not a big fan of ChatGPT, just so you know, for what I'm about to show you. I prefer Anthropic. I just like Anthropic's more. It's more advanced for especially for coders. So this is just the basic diagram of what we're doing. So essentially, if you go into the folder, we're going to have a bunch of files here, obviously. Where we have the general README file, that's created by LangChain. I have my custom README file, this is lowercase readme.txt. And then we also have a client testing application as well that I created called TestRag. In here, we also have an app dir, a folder. Um, and we have the all the necessary Python files with requirements to run all this. So I've taken it as far as I can, and let me show you now the README file here. Okay, so home Python quant reg. There we go. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to show you the README file, my custom one. So here it is. So essentially what we're doing here is we're installing all the basic requirement files. I actually packages for Python. I've got an updated version of this. Then we have to create a LangChain uh, project as well to LangChain CLI. These are some of the instructions you need to get that done. And then we have our project structure right here. So I've shown you, plus some other files as well. The test client as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. Here's where it gets interesting is with the environment file. We have to put in our OpenAI key. So here I've done that. Create two just to make sure it's working, but I don't know what's going on. But we got the secret key, which I created, and the permissioning, all that fun stuff. And it just, I don't know, never works. What can I expect from OpenAI, right? Um, anyways, let's go back to the file here. So we have to create that OpenAI file. Oh, and to get that, create your OpenAI account or ChatGPT account or OpenAI account. It's platform.openai.com/API keys. You can just do a search for that as well on your Google or whatever you use for search engine. Anyways, so now we are about to deploy it. So there's different options here. I went with the local option, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So you can run it through Docker. You can run it through a cloud service like Hugging Face, I guess. Here's all the necessary files. And then we can also run it right in the shell right here. I can never get that working. But even if I got it working, um, it's this key is not working. So here's the uh, test file that I was talking about to test the RAG application. Okay, so what we're doing here is let me just get out of that. Okay, so what we've got here is everything's already coded up when you download it, but you might have to recreate the LangChain project. In my case, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to do LangChain serve. Okay, we have to be in the appropriate directory. Okay, so the root directory basically, LangChain serve. Okay, and it's going to launch the application. Okay, and then when I go into another terminal, um, so let me just go into that as well. Quant reg. Okay, so now you can see here I have this test rag application here at the bottom. So if I look at that one, okay, so here we're making two requests based upon the so-called OpenAI ChatGPT opens up the fetch data. We set the what we want for Apple 30-day, put out a response, another request to query it. This is where it's interesting. So if you're using general AI, this is where the RAG really kicks in. So here we do a query. We query with the Apple, and we can just do a simple query. Is the stock showing a bullish or bearish pattern? And print out that response. That's pretty good. Now, generally, um, Apple or that might not pass because of this prompt. Let me try changing the prompt. Maybe that might be, well, it doesn't matter. But that, depending upon your prompt, that might be why my application fails. Okay. And if you go into the second application here, what we get here is these are some of the responses here. You exceeded your current quote. Please check everything. And we also have here not retrieving the data. So this is as far as I take it because believe me, I'm not a fan of OpenAI. Um, but if I had a paying Anthropic subscription, this would probably work and just changing up the query or the prompt. I'm sure it works somehow. But wouldn't surprise me though that the query may throw back an exception from OpenAI based upon the prompt because a lot of the LLMs don't like these kind of questions about trying to predict uh, stock prices. And that's what I'm finding as well. So it could be that. I don't know. But this is as far as we go. Thanks for watching and good luck to you.